let's start filling out our sheets. So in your mind, start thinking about what your objective is. Are you trying to create a posting schedule? Do you want to create an ad? What do you want to do? And what's the objective of that? Are you trying to get people's email addresses? Are you just trying to get them to follow your page? What is it that you want them to do? Okay, who's your audience? The more specific you are, the easier it's going to be to answer the next couple questions. The way I like to tell people to do this is think of your most favorite, best, lucrative client that you've ever had and create a persona of them. What age are they? Where do they work? Where do they live? What do they do for a living? Do they have a family? Do they have children? What age are those children? What kind of car do they drive? Are they Android, Chrome, or Apple users? These are all things you can target off of in Facebook. You can do Land Rover drivers that live in Princeton if you want to. Okay, so whoever that person or persons are, they have a problem that you can solve. What is that problem? Write the problem. They need a new deck, right? Do they need their deck repaired? Do they need it replaced? What's their problem? And if you want to go into a little more detail, like if your objective is targeting people to get Trex, I know there's other brands out there, but that's the first one, versus wood, you know, they have a splintered wood deck that they're tired of having to paint. That's their problem. See how specific it's getting based off of your objective? If you're trying to promote non-wood materials, composites. What's your up-and-coming event for businesses? There's a FCP event coming up in March, right? It's a networking event. Maybe their problem is they don't know enough other people in town. Maybe they're a new business. Maybe they're starting out, right? So their problem is they don't know other businesses, or they're trying to get into networking. They don't know where to go. Now, how are you solving their problem? We offer, if there's a specific material, we offer this type of material for composites. I know Trex was one of the first ones, but there's a bunch out there now. But maybe you don't want to highlight Trex. You want to highlight something else, right? That needs to be in your copy language. You know, we have composite decking made by Bloody Blah that does this type of thing so that you never have to paint again, right? We're running a sale. We're doing these things, okay? Then if you turn it over, write down what your question is that they can answer yes to. Stay positive, right? As much as possible, or at least empathetic. So you're not going to ask them if they have a cavity, you're going to ask them if they have mouth pain, right? Are you uncomfortable? Are you afraid of the dentist? Did your last dentist just move away? Not, do you hate your dentist? No, you don't want to go there. We'll have the dentist, you know, win the lottery and leave, and now they're looking for someone new. Did your dentist just retire? Especially if you know of someone in the area that could be happening. If a practice is going out of the area, or if someone is leaving, you can run an ad against something like that. And if they have enough people on their Facebook page, which most dentists don't, but you can at least still target his general area, you know, that 45-minute radius around that office. How do you solve their problem? Now this is where, when I was talking earlier, keep it simple. And then once you think it's simple, make it even simpler, right? Because you're the subject matter experts. When you start thinking about something, you're way up here, right? Where you need to be talking to them is down here. We often educate people in person and in communications. In the industry, there is a saying, if you confuse, you lose. Meaning, if you confuse someone, you may have the superior product, service, but they will go to someone else who didn't confuse them first because they understand it. So just keep that in the back of your head. If you confuse, you lose. Clarity brings you clients. And then last but not least, your call to action. And don't just assume that putting a telephone number is a call to action. No. Call us to schedule your first appointment. Telephone number. And it's always clickable in the mobile version of Facebook. It's even clickable on the desktop if you have certain things enabled that you can actually take telephone calls from your desktop. So it's clickable, which is good. Or email us to schedule an appointment if you don't want to figure out how you want to be communicated with. If you don't want a phone call, don't ask them to call. You'd be surprised how many people do that. They're like, well, our telephone number's up there. I'm like, do you want to be called? No. I don't want to be interrupted. I want people to schedule time with me. Well, then have them send you an email. or Messenger. So Facebook is throwing stats out there and Instagram about messenger communication and activity, and people are using it more and more both on Facebook and Instagram. And you can run ads that say, send us a message. So you can have them interacting with you there in Messenger, which is super great. And then the other thing that's happening in the industry, so here's a trend. 2019, we're starting to see chatbot usage rise across all levels. It's not just your early adopters. If you do it the right way. Don't try to fake them out and make them think it's human. People know what a chatbot is, and they don't like people trying to fool them. Give it a name. Make them say, hey, I'm DentiBot. Would you like to schedule an appointment? And then it goes through a whole series of things. This is advanced stuff, but just if you come across it, I know you were asking about trends, you can automate them. Really? So if someone comes to your messenger and says, what hours are you open? You can have the chatbot be able to respond to certain things, and always one of the things it could say is, I need to talk to a human. Okay, here's a telephone number so that you can talk to one of my humans.
All right, I don't know what a chatbot is.
Oh, that's okay. What it is it's automation that you can interact with. Knowledge tree, right? Typed in a question, it would bring you an answer back. It's the latest version of knowledge trees.
Is that directly through Facebook, or is it a third-party app?
It's a third-party application. There's ManyBot. There's a couple of them out there. And I forget the name of the one that I'm looking at right now. You can add these to your website too, and it'll do a twofer. So you can put it on your website as well as use it in your messaging. So that's advanced stuff. I know people were asking for trends, but that's one of the big ones coming up. So calls to action. Make sure it's something that you want them to do and not something that you think they want to do, because you've got to manage all this coming through.